In this video, I'm going to teach you how to get inside out shredded for those of you that want to push beyond lean to the point where you are peeled to the motherfucking bone. Let's dance. So, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Tom Sergi. I run the Gorilla Platoon, which is an online physique transformation program where we get results like this one. We're on 21 for the year so far. We need to get to 50. So, there is work to be done as it is the 31st of August. It is. Right. Into today's title, how to get Photoshoot shredded in 17 weeks. And we're going to speak about a client result, which has literally just come in. The way we're going to break this video down is to look at his starting point, so where he is now. And hopefully quite a few of you will be able to relate to the starting point. I actually think it's quite a common start point, compared to like the average person, but we'll go through that in a second. The setup we use to like get him going, how we made progress to get from the start point to the goal. I'm going to speak about pushing from lean to shredded, which I think you'll find quite interesting in that. Keeping it all together is my methods, and honestly, like, I know people like to save like the good value to the end, but this point here is my personal touch, how I keep people in check, moving forward, changing their mindset, changing who they are so they can become killers and then get the end of the result. You can look at this video like tactic / principle. This is the principles that underline all of this. So like, if you follow this, you'll get there, sure. But like, if you follow this with the principle, you will swim downstream rather than fucking fighting against yourself in an uphill battle. So let's roll. So his starting point was looking like this. So starting at 90 kg and 20% body fat. I'd say it's quite common across most guys I actually work with, and probably a lot of you watching from the channel, in and around the space of 20%. Maybe he's a touch softer, maybe 22% or so. But this is where we started him at. Calories then start at 2,474, pretty much 2.5, not a bad space. When you're trying to rocket out a photo shoot, you're not going to go so low, but you also can't like go too high. So in the space, if you're looking at like a 0.5 drop, around about a 400 calorie drop per se. Steps are going to start at 10k, and we're not going to put cardio in the first week, but it was something we used quite soon after. The split we used is one, if you've watched this channel before, you'll know about the 5-day training split, which comprises of push, pull, legs, rest day, chest and back, and then arms and delts. Allows for the most amount of frequency, volume, and obviously you're going to drive intensity in these sessions towards the upper body, with also some attention towards the legs as well. So that was the start point we went for. Now, as we go through the program, we need to make sure we're always making progress. So what you're going to do when you go through this is you're going to assess your starting point. And just quickly, the way I did this was through the calorie calculator I made here. So take a scale weight, assess the body fat by looking at the graph here, setting around the space of 20. So this is then going to give us lean mass 72, and then I envisioned to get him down to 77. That was going to be the goal for like sheer fucking like 8% body fat, which if you go in photo shoot level and like from lean to shredded, you need to push from like 10 to 8%, I would say. Then RMR sat at 1925. Average level of activity, so we're timesing this by this to give us pretty much 3k calories on a daily maintenance. As I said, we dropped in like fairly aggressive, to be honest, 500 calories straight off the bat. Kept protein nice and high at 173, fats at 55, and carbs nice and high at 325. And then when we needed to make and adapt changes, I would eat into the fats first because it would yield me more of a drop with less volume of food that was needed to be used. So that was the setup and how we actually did this. Now, as we went through, these are the changes we made across the week. And yeah, sure, this is personal to him, but you need to see how you're going to make the changes for you. So what you're going to do is you're going to track the scale weight every day. You're going to take photos once a week. You're going to track your workouts, nutrition, and your output through steps and cardio when it comes in. Now, you should see, especially in the beginning, a kilo per week drop off, and at least throughout the majority of the transformation, roughly 1% of the scale weight should drop off. So week 1, that happened, no need to make any changes. Week 2 started to slow, so we went for 20 minutes of daily cardio. With this, we're looking something that's non-impact, so you're talking incline treadmill, cross trainer, or a bike. Heart rate 120 to 130, because you can do that daily without it accumulating any fatigue. See, to keep things moving in week 3, we then took our first pull from food. For non-photo shoot transformations and ones that need to drag on a little bit longer or the guy has less muscle, I will actually keep food higher for as long as humanly possible. But with the goal of rocketing this down here, I intended to pull earlier. So 200 calories got removed that week. Then we pushed to 30 minutes daily cardio. Then we pushed to 40 minutes daily cardio in week 5. So we kept things moving pretty aggressively as we went through. Week 6, we didn't need to make any changes. And then from week 7 all the way to week 16, we're running at least an hour of cardio per day. Now, this guy preferred to move more. He was a boxer. He is a paratrooper. So, moving more is his bread and butter. Would much rather keep food high and move more than take food and move less. It will depend on you as a person. I've had comments from guys where they're like, "Yo, you don't need to do this much cardio. You could just drop the food." And yeah, I agree, mate. You can do that, but like some people would prefer to keep food higher. I prefer to keep food higher because it then allows, if you time your meals correctly, for a better gym session. And the only way you're going to retain and build tissue during this phase is through training stimulus. You can eat all the protein in the world. If you don't train hard enough, your muscle will disintegrate. It's the long and short of it. So that's why I prefer to pull from increase cardio instead of pulling from food. That's just my preference. It's just the way I like to coach. Is it right or wrong? You can decide. From there, we then needed to pull from food the next week. So the overall across 16 weeks, we actually only pulled from food, I believe, 5 to 6 times. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times we pulled from food. So I will take that 6 times over the course of 16, going on 17 weeks. 128 calories, didn't need to make a change here. Pull from food here. No changes here. In week 11, I wanted to collect some data, so we ran a high carb day. Why do we run a high carb day? Well, if you've dieted for 11 weeks, what you're going to start to feel is skinny. It's not that you're feeling skinny, it's just the muscle has got flat and therefore it feels softer and smoother against the skin because glycogen has been pretty much taken out of it across the course of 11 weeks of dieting. So what you want to do is collect some data, fill yourself back up with glycogen. That's going to allow you to train harder. It's going to give you the feeling of fullness, so you're naturally you will burn more through like your non-activity exercise thermogenesis. Like if you find you've been dieting for 11 weeks, you won't sit here and fidget and shift your legs or anything. But once you've had that high day, the body just relaxes again after that. It also allows us to see how you look when you are fuller as well. Now, how do you run a high day? So you want to take your scale weight at the time, times it between 8 and 12. But to be honest, I like to be conservative the first time I do this, and I'll go for times 7. So scale weight times 7 will give you a number. That is the number of grams of carbohydrates to eat within that given day. And what you want to do is pull down the protein, because protein and carbs both like for like are 1 gram is 4 calories. So you want to shift your protein pretty much like almost half it, and that way the refeed's not massively over. Now, from there, that worked okay. We then made the next change of 96 calories removed. Week 13 was an aggressive one where we pushed to 70 minutes cardio, which he carried out until the end, and 100 calories removed. Week 14, another 88 calories removed. Week 15, no changes, and week 16, we went into peak week. I think peak week deserves its own video, but what I will say is the way we approached peak week was we had the data from the high day. We just kept dieting down our way into it. Now, the photo shoot was on a Saturday. You've got a couple of options with the way you peak a client. And honestly, when it comes to peaking it, and from the research I've learned from doing it myself, I did a photo shoot myself in 2022. That's where this photo is from. That was like me in my absolute leanest, peeled out condition. So I've been through it myself, so I know what it entails. You can either... With the peak week, I don't play around with sodium or magnesium, any of that sort of stuff, because to be honest, A, I just don't know enough about it, and B, you can run the risk of really losing the look. So what you do want to do is a high carb day, and that's gonna fill out the muscle full of glycogen going into it. You want to be careful with this because you're trying to balance between the dry peeled look versus the full muscle look. And what can happen is, and what actually did happen is, you can get an overspill. So you've got a couple of options of when you run it. You can either front load it. So let's say shoot is on a Saturday. You could front load it on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. And then you've got Thursday, Friday to adjust. Or you can back load it and go Thursday, Friday. Now what I did, I knew this guy didn't need that much carbs. So I semi-back loaded him on the Thursday. But on the Thursday, so there was a bit of an overspill. And he actually, in the morning, will look dry, peeled out lean. I should have put a photo up, really. I can do a full video on it. And After the high day, there was a bit of an overspill where he looked a little touch softer, but that's why I gave the 24 hours to then adjust. And I'm in Mexico at the minute, and he's in the UK. This time difference is 6 hours. So every morning I would have to get up at like 4 in the morning to look at his condition and say, right, we're going to do this on 2 separate occasions. So we just adjusted. We just on the adjust day, which was the Friday, then we just implemented a pump up session, see how he looked, and also steps. We were going to do cardio, but actually he did the pump up session and he pretty much tightened back up throughout the day. That day we dropped the food back to normal, the normal dieting food we had him on, and then he just dried out and it was okay. And then come the morning of the actual day, we just ran a couple of rice cakes with honey and not a proper meal, and that was it. And he looked pretty decent, but I'll show you how he looked at the end. So that was the protocol we followed in order to get the result. The point I'm making from this for you is you're going to take the data I spoke about before and you're always going to look to adjust it. So it's like, you need to pull a lever to see a response, and when you're doing a photo shoot, you kind of need to make sure this train is always moving with a solid amount of momentum. You won't always need to make changes. Like if you look here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks where we didn't need to make any changes across the 16 that you have available. But you're going to need to make an adaptation, and that's the point I want you to take away here. Like, I'm not saying if you're 90 kilos and you want to get down to 77, do exactly this. I mean, it would probably work, but like you understand the principle of why I'm showing you this. Next thing we'll look at is going from lean to shredded. So he started at 90 kg, and then he got down into week 14 at 81, so we pretty much pulled off 9 kg. And at this point, like, if you look like this, I think you look pretty darn good. If you're walking about like this, like day to day, honestly, fucking take my hat off to you boys. Like, that's a good look. That's a very good look. Looks fuller across the arms and the delts and the pecs. You can see the midsection, a little bit of lineage coming through here, a little bit of veinage here. This is a good look, boys. So honestly, if you get to this and you're happy, like, I'm happy. But the point of this video is to talk about going from lean to shredded. And this is where you have to fucking dig. This is where you'll feel every kilo come off from here. So from week 14 up to week 17, we still pulled off another kilo a week. But fuck me, this guy had to dig. I mean, you can see from here, from week 14 or week 13. So this was the change going into this. So 70 minutes cardio daily, 100 calories removed, then another 100 calories removed. By the time we got down to it, you do the math, but I think you're pretty much on around like 1800 calories, which is fucking low, right, for a man like that. But that was what was needed to dig and to push him through from this to this. And you may ask yourself, well, what's the point? And honestly, it's not, don't look at this as, I want to get down to this and walk around at this forever. Don't look at it like that. In fact, you know what, it'll take me quite nicely onto the next point, from lean to shredded. This is the point. So let's zoom out here, and let's first of all check my eggs are not burning, and then I'm going to draw this out for you. So my eggs are not burning, and we can now play ball. So what we need to understand is that to go from here to here, it looks fucking great. Obviously for a photo shoot, you're going to need to take it from here to here. This is really more about your internal state and who you are as a person. To get from here to here, this should be done, boys. This is fucking the standard if you want to compete in life. You need to go from here to here. It is not acceptable to walk around at 20% unless you've just finished a bulk, then you have my blessing to be 20% body fat. However, if not, you want to be walking around like this as the base standard. This is not too unattainable. This could be, I would probably say this is around 12, maybe 10%, maybe 11, 12% body fat, okay? So this is attainable for every human being out there with just a few weeks of dieting, well, a couple of months, whatever. But to go from here to here, you may say, oh, it's not that necessary. Why do you need to be this shredded? It's not about walking around it like that. It's not about that. It's about who you had to become as a person to go from 12 to 8% body fat. You go from 20 to 16, big fucking whoop. You do that in 4 weeks, no issues. You can do that without even like doing any cardio. That you can do that, no problem. To go from here to here, you have to become a new human fucking being. You have to genuinely believe you are a fucking killer of a human being. And the discipline it takes to go from here to here is absolutely massive. So how you're going to do this is, and I've drawn this out plenty of times, so hopefully you're a new viewer and this will be new to you. So for the longest period of time, the old you has done habits. And because of those habits, this is where you are in life. You are where you are in life right now because of your own doing, because of your own habits that got you there. And where you want to get to the new you, you may only have 1 or 2 habits in that basket. So in order to get to the new you, we need to assess, what are you doing that is keeping you back? Because at the minute, to try and get to the goal feels like you're swimming upstream. And when you're, for as long as you have to swim upstream, you're not going to get there. Or you will, but it will be real fucking tooth and nail. And instead of going week 14 to week 70, this is going to take double the amount of time. So what we have to do is really fix what goes on between your own brain. Now, how you see yourself is then how you act. So if you see yourself as this like guy that just struggles to get in shape, really like can't get in shape because of this or whatever limiting beliefs you've got, you will then stack habits in your brain as to why you can't get there, which will then affirm your self and identity, which will then reaffirm how you act in the world, which keeps you in this vicious cycle of perpetual shit. What we want to do is we want to fix it the opposite. We need to make you believe that you are the fucking best thing since sliced bread. You are an animal. You are better than every fucking peasant that is still at 13, 15, 16% body fat, and you can get to 8% body fat. I don't know what the stats are of how many men can get to 8% body fat, but I bet it's not like greater than 50%. Like, let's be honest. So you want to put yourself into the top fucking sphere of men. All you have to do is go from here to here. But what we have to do is fix what goes on in your own brain to allow us to get there. So the first thing you need to do is audit your life. You need to think, what is holding me back in life? So just write out, audit what you do in a given day. So this is what I would say. You structure your day and you work out what time you get up, what you do when you get up, how you're approaching work, how's your training going, what are you eating, are you prepping, are you organised? You want to audit those points. And what you'll do when you audit those points, you will then understand where the bullshit is happening. But you have to look at this with a sense of humility. I want you to be an arrogant motherfucker that's going to get to 8% body fat, but you need to have the humility to understand where you are now. You need to understand that, look, if you didn't get up on time this morning, don't expect to be 8% body fat. If you didn't prep your meals for the week, don't expect to be 8% body fat. If you missed a gym session, fucking don't expect to be 8% body fat. If you said yes to that loser friend that wants you to go for a beer at the weekend and take 4 hours out of your evening and make you drink some bullshit, don't expect to be 8% body fat. In order to be that person that you need to become, you have to get used to having your own self-confidence and your own self-worth. So this is why I tell you, you need to believe in yourself. You need to be an arrogant motherfucker. But you need to have the humility to audit your life and be like, this is bullshit, let's get rid of this. So let's fix what time I get to get up on time. Boom. Out of the bad habit into the good habit. Let's fix what I'm actually putting into my body, because that will be massive. Out of the bad habit into the good habit. So then what we're doing is every time we take out a bad habit, we're just, at the end of the day, your then basket of the old you, maybe have like one thing in here, which is your name is fucking Bob. And then at this point, we've put so many new good habits into the basket. What's going to happen in this seesaw analogy? It's going to move down like this, right? So because it moves down like this, you can then move towards the new you, because it's now a glorious cycle where you've done the habit, it's confirmed how you see yourself, which has then affirmed your self-image, which how you then, because you see yourself as a fucking 8% body fat killer, you then do more habits to then put you aligned with this, which then cements you and allows you to keep the physique long term. Like, I can pull you through a fucking photo shoot. Like, literally kind of text you twice a day. I can make sure you're doing the thing. I can be like, have you done this? Have you done this? And I've done it. I have pulled motherfuckers all the way through a transformation. But I tell you now, if you don't fix this, the moment I leave, you'll fuck it up. You know why? Because you weren't capable. You didn't become the person that you needed to in order to get this result. And that's why you'll always remain in perpetual average state. You want to change this here. If you don't change it, you'll always be this loser that wanks off to porn, has this fucking soft body fat, can't seem to get cool friends, only shags 4 out of 10 birds, and you'll always remain in this state because you didn't fix what went on in here. It's not even about the physique. It's about the fact that you need to fold your fucking bed sheets in the morning. You need to get up on time, fold your bed sheets, clean your fucking face, and get to work. That's what this is about, and that's where it all starts. Like, none of this really matters if you don't fix this. If you don't fix what goes on in your own brain, you will fuck it up. You will not be able to stand to it long term. 17 weeks is, do you know what's fairly long? It's 4 months. That's quite a long time, really. Out of a 12-month year, it's a third of the year. It's long enough to affirm who you need to be as a person. And it's long enough that if you don't do this, you'll sack it. You will not have the bandwidth, and you'll always be like, I can't because I'm this guy. I'm busy because I'm this guy. You might be busy, but everyone's busy. Everyone is fucking busy, let's be honest. No one's sat there looking at a wall because A, we're all fucking distracted anyway, but B, everyone believes they're busy. So if you're busy, you have to make time. How do you make time? You change the priority. This is how you make time. Most people will say they're busy and they can't do it because this is how their life looks. They have work, they have family, they have travel, they have social, they have fucking badminton on a Tuesday, they've got violin on a fucking Wednesday, they've got their loser friends they need to go and see. And then this is all their bandwidth and their energy. So they're spent, right, after the end of the week. This is where it takes to get in shape. This is why there's a deficit from where they are trying to get in shape to where they want to get to. Because there's a deficit. Because they haven't got the energy and the bandwidth to even get there. They're sat here at level 1. Level 1, average fucking loser pissant. How they want to get there is like this. You want to audit your life, and you want to pick your goals. And you want to understand why do you want the goal in the fucking first place. And I'll tell you why you want the goal in the first place. Whatever you pick, as long as it entails you having to display discipline, consistency, and resilience, it doesn't matter what the goal is. I'm telling you to get to 8% body fat, you could go and climb a mountain. You could learn how to fucking run an orchestra. I don't care what it is. But as long as it is something hard that takes discipline, consistency, and resilience, then you have my blessing. Because they are all universal traits. And remember, it's not about the physique. The physique is the vehicle. The physique is you get it, it's nice at the end, that's nice. You can walk around, take some cool pictures. Women will like you more, it's nice. You get more likes on Instagram, it's fucking nice, of course it is. But it's the vehicle. What we're really doing here is developing you into the person you need to become, because that is a universal trait and skill that you will use in all elements of your life. If you know you're someone of discipline, it doesn't matter whether it's leveling up in your business or getting in good shape, you will be able to do it because you're someone of discipline. You will be able to get up every morning and get to your laptop and work like a fucking mule without distractions because you develop discipline to get out and go and do your steps at 6 a.m. every day to get in shape. It's universal. It carries through. So when you pick the goal and you understand why you want the goal to become that person, the barrier's up here. Fine, the barrier's up here. Whatever it is in the goal, you're going to go all in. You're going to take all of your wasted energy on bullshit that's not getting you towards the goal, and you're going to be essential with it, and you're going to put it in here so you push past the barrier to get into the shape you want to. I believe you could probably do this if we took all the lines, stacked them on top of each other, maybe to 2 elements in your life. Okay, so let's say it's work and it's gym. You put the 2 together. But it means that family is going to get the minimum effective dose for it to not regress. It means friends are going to get the minimum effective dose not to regress. It means probably no travel. It means quitting fucking badminton on a Tuesday. And you have to just be okay with that. Put the most important things on a minimum effective dose so they don't regress. Everything else goes all into this, and that's how you become essential. That's how you decide that this is what you're going to go for so you can become the person you need to. The fundamental characteristics of the Gorilla Platoon and what we do to get results is literally grinding you down to the point where you can show solid levels of discipline, doing the thing you don't want to do, not eating all the fucking food you want to eat for a prolonged period of time. Then we're building consistency. Being someone that doesn't just do it once and was like, oh, I did it once, yeah, nice, cool, I'm this person. No, you need to take these out here. You're not going to be able to take these rocks out of this basket if you don't do it enough, because you will not believe you're someone that can do it long term. So we have to develop consistency for this. And then finally, life's not perfect, and the chips are going to be down some days. Some days you're not going to feel like it. I've recorded, I don't know what the exact number is, but it's over 200, maybe 210 videos like every day for the last 210 days. I've done a YouTube video. Some days I don't fucking feel like it. Today I really do, because I love talking about new results that come in. But some days I don't feel like it, but I still make sure I do it. Now I've got over 200 days of data to show that I am someone of consistency to something new and something hard. So then I know if I need to do something, I'm going to do it. I've got the data to show it. I'm not going to just jack on it because I don't feel like it. Even if I don't feel like it, I will get it done because it needs to be done. It needs to go out every day. So that's why I do it. You need to be the same. On days you don't feel like it, that's when you're showing resilience. On days where life's throwing challenge at you, that's when you're training the muscle of resilience. You won't get the opportunity to train it that often. You really won't. For most of you, do you know when you're most likely going to train the muscle of resilience? You'll be speaking to a bitch and she won't text you back. And motherfuckers will just go and text her again anyway. So, what? Did you not get my message? Hello? I'm just going to knock on your door again. I know you heard it, but I'm going to knock again. Motherfuckers will do that. That's not what you want to do. That is a free opportunity. You won't see it unless I say it like this, but that is the opportunity to showcase resilience. Because what you want to do is go and do text the bitch. What you should do is not do that. Just pull back, sit tight, and she'll get back in touch with you if she likes you. If she don't think you're a fucking loser with 20% body fat. So that, all jokes aside though, that's how you show resilience. And when those times come round, which they will for you, if you're a man watching this video, that's happened to every man you ever meet. Has been through that plenty of times, and it will happen again to the future. It will definitely happen for you. When it happens for you, I want you to remember this fucking straight fringe motherfucker telling you, this will happen, now you get to show resilience. And I want you to exercise that resilience. It's not nice, it's not comfortable, of course it's not, otherwise it wouldn't be resilience. But you have to be okay with it and then push through and develop the muscle that is resilience. Again, it doesn't come around often that you get to train resilience. So when it does, you just need to pause, breathe, and then fucking showcase that you are a man of resilience. Because that is a universal trait which will carry all the way through your life and will get you very, very far. So that's the 3 traits we use to get the guys in shape. We also take out their bad habits from their own brain, create the empty basket, and then we can start to fill with new ones. Then we can start to swim in the Red Sea. Then we can start to swim downstream towards the goal, and it becomes easier, and you drop a kilo off per week, and then the end product you get looks like this. So this was the end result we managed to get. Started out like this, finished like this, pretty fucking nice, all the way up, peeled up, shredded, next level photo shoot condition. But most importantly, it's the person he had to become between the eyes. Look at that fucking jawline, eh? Look at that fucking jawline. See? This is the person he had to become. If you want to hear his take on it, tomorrow on the 1st, I will post his video testimonial. I was going to put it on the back end of this video, but I thought it would make the video too long. So you'll find that on my Instagram. Go and check that out. It'll be up if you're watching this the day after I've posted it. So go and check that out and see his thoughts, and he'll tell you who he had to become in order to get there. It's nice to hear it from his perspective rather than just always me telling you this is important. So if you found this video useful, great, subscribe to the channel. If you want me to do this for you, the goal is 50 results by the end of the year. So if you want to be on this page here, I will still have to move my fucking carcass out there to fit these next results coming in. If you want to be on this page by the end of the year, then book a call and we'll take it from there.